Hi everybody. I am going live. Had some people wanted to know my opinion, saying, Rakesha, what can we do to be safe and protect ourselves and our families during this pandemic, during this national, or actually it's worldwide pandemic that we're experiencing right now. Um, so this post is going to be about what you can do um, to stay safe. What you can do to stay safe during COVID 19. Now, hopefully, everybody's having a great day, but as you all should be aware of, the V in COVID 19, it stands for like it's a virus. If you think about pathogens, there are bacteria, there are viruses, there are fungus. Ringworm can be spread as well. Staphylococcus aureus is a bacteria that can be spread a lot of times through contact precautions, and we'll go over that actually. I'll talk about precautions too. Airborne precautions, droplet precautions. What the heck does all that mean for people that are not in healthcare? If you're already on, if you could do me a favor and go follow me on Instagram at I am nursing success, and check out my Facebook page, RNRickesha, as well as my website, rnrickesha.com. So, as I was saying, we're dealing with a crisis right now. We're dealing with the pandemic right now. And I think during my lifetime, this is probably one of the worst that I've had to deal with. So, one thing I talked about was taking care of your machine. And when I talk about taking care of your machine, I'm talking about your body. The human body is a beautiful living organism that is made to function in a place of homeostasis, in a place that everything is doing well and functioning as it should be. And when you have a pathogen such as coronavirus invade your homeostatic environment, it throws the homeostasis off, hence disease and infection and things of that nature. So the thing I want to talk to you about today is number one, if you think about the human body as a um, living organism or as a machine, how's your maintenance? One of the things that a lot of people are dealing with right now is that they did not, we weren't doing the best daily maintenance. How was your water intake? How was your intake of fruits and vegetables? How were you taking care of your body, pre all of this? We had to think about those things. And a lot of times right now we're focusing on them because it's at the forefront, but you should be thinking about safety at all times. And I think this is a wake up call, and people I think will not go back to being the same after this pandemic, nor should we. Now, as a registered nurse, I have possibly, unlike a lot of people, I live a lifestyle of infection control because you understand how infections are spread. There are airborne. And when I say airborne, are things that float in the air. And even if I leave the room and I coughed, it would still be floating in the air, possibly. Those particles, those unseen microorganisms would still be floating in the air. And then we have droplet. Droplet particles are still unseen. However, droplet particles are particles that should fall to the floor or fall on any type of inanimate surface within from my mouth to where, and I need to get my nails done, but we're making it work to where they would fall within 6 feet of coming out of my mouth or my nose, whatever. And that's what the whole social distancing comes about. Social distancing is saying keeping 6 feet away from each other, that we would be safe, that if this person sneezed, it wouldn't land on you. If they touch something, you would be keeping yourself in arms at arm's bay, not that close to where they could touch you. And when I was in the grocery store the other day, I like the fact of stuff that you can really, I like to make things practical. But according to, in the grocery store, 6 feet was considered two grocery carts. And of course, if you're like me, you've been to these grocery stores and they are putting tape on the floor, telling you where to stand and all that stuff. So you don't have a choice nowadays if you're going out to not maintain social distancing. So think about um, two grocery carts apart. Now, with that being said, when I talked about how's your maintenance of your machine, are you resting? Rest is essential to your health, to your survival, uh, to all of those things. So you want to make sure you are taking care of yourself, right? You should. And that starts with getting good rest. Proper rest is important. Number two, supplements. And I actually brought some supplements to share with you all of some of the things that I take on a regular basis. One of my favorites is black seed oil. Now, one thing about this, and I want you to read it so you can see. I'm one of those people who's already been doing it. But healthy immune system and, oh shoot, this way, inflammatory response. So black seed oil, it's like a natural antiviral and a natural antibacterial. Keeps the, and you can see I hardly have any left, but black seed oil, I recommend. Thank you, Stephanie. Um, my mama's favorite, vitamin C. We need vitamin C. Again, if you start paying attention, all these things support my immune system. What are you doing to support your immune system? Your immune system is your fighter system. When I say system, you have your respiratory system, your cardiovascular system, lymphatic, uh, nervous system, and your immune system. Your immune system is your fighters, your white blood cells, your immunity. And what keeps you safe naturally should be your immune system. And the products I'm showing are things that support or make your make your immune system thrive. So you want vitamin C. Another one I swear by, and these are just my dailies. A lifestyle of this. I've been doing this because I like to have a strong immune system. Because you never know when something like this happens, and so if you're not on them, start. Chlorella and spirulina, natural energy and detox. Um, this is gluten free, free of GMOs, dairy, sugar, nuts, pesticides, chemicals, and additives. And I got this on Amazon. And these are high in chlorophyll, amino acids, and rich in antioxidants. And again, with the American diet, a lot of our foods are nutrient deplete. Like if you eat McDonald's, you're not getting no nutrients. I promise you. I don't even know if you get magnesium, calcium, phosphorus, any of that. But those are in here. And I have usually I would have them in something like this. But this one, when I ordered it off Amazon, I got more for my money by getting it like this. And again, it's probably to deal with packaging. And I love these. Little bitty pills too. I also take vitamin B supplements. I don't feel like digging it out. But I keep supplements. And here's another thing you want. Get you one of these. These are not just for people that possibly have a lot of medicines, but if you like me, you take quite a few supplements, this can help. I keep up with my supplements in here. That way I don't have to carry all these bottles around, but sometimes I don't have time to do it. So those are some good immune system boosting supplements, as well as your garlics. It's a natural antiviral. And so ginger is a good thing. That's why people like to use ginger for sicknesses with the stomach and things of that nature. So what are your supplements? Okay. The next thing I want to talk about, what's the quality of your intake? What are you feeding your body? What are you giving your machine to run off of? Is it straight sugar, straight carbs, fried stuff, clunking, gunking up your arteries? Or are we doing what we need to be doing, getting us some good old alkaline water? Now, alkaline water is going to be better than this. And this came from, I believe, Costco, purified versus alkaline water. Now, this is still purified, which I'm just noticing. My favorite, which I swear by, which my natural health provider had told me about, is spring water. Because this also, and this is by Costco too. That's probably why I hadn't opened it yet. But I like alkaline water more than this. Because at least you're creating an alkaline environment in your body is where your cells are floating in. Your cells and your body is made up of 60 to 70% water. That's more than anything. 60 to 7% water. And how much water are you intaking every day? What are you feeding your cells? Are they floating around in Coke, floating around in coffee? Not literally, but they're depleted of the things they need to stay plump and thriving. And then you wonder why your skin's all dried up or you're wrinkly. And, it goes back to the cellular level at a chemical level. What are we putting into our machine, into our body, into this environment? What are you intaking? You only can take out and put out what you're putting in, okay? So make sure you're getting water. So we cover supplements, water, rest. The next thing I want to talk about is using best practices, especially right now with the COVID-19 pandemic. One of the things you want to do is to be smart. Excuse me. Now, best practices is about doing what you should do, what you know to do. Like, don't be crazy. Right now, they say stay at home, stay at home. Now, naturally, we have to go out. And if you're like me in healthcare, you got to get the heck out of there. You got to go to work anyway, so you don't have a choice. So with that being said, keep hand sanitizer. This is the Equate brand. Again, lifestyle. This is just on a regular day. I keep so many I never run out. Because I work in healthcare, I know I could be touching something I don't see. So I don't want to take stuff home to my family. Sanitizers, okay? The next thing is washing your hands for 20 seconds. 20 seconds could be, I think they said a birthday song twice or saying your alphabet. Or you could go 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000. Now, when we say 20 seconds, you're not just doing this. We're starting here, creating a good lather. And hand washing is an actual skill that nurses, CNAs, and everybody have to get checked off on because this is a skill. And in not too long ago, before standard precautions was put in place, treating everybody as if nurses and healthcare people did not wear gloves except for surgical procedures. And I want to say this was into the late 70s, early 80s. They were working in hospitals without gloves. And guess what? We have nurses that still practiced and are alive that did not wear gloves into their patients' rooms and dealt with all kind of things. And guess what they say? Good hand washing is key. Hence, don't touch your face. I wipe my knobs down at home. I wipe everything down that I think I could put my hands on. Your keyboards, your mouse, your cell phone. Wipe those things down. You could even wipe them down with your sanitizer. So using best practices, hand washing. This, if you are going to go out. So let me tell you a quick story right quick. So I was working at this facility and me being me, I brought my own mask and I was picking up a shift and it was a long-term care facility and that particular day, nobody else was wearing masks. So they're like, why has she got this mask on? I come back another time, everybody got masks on. Don't be afraid to wear your mask, okay? I wore my mask when nobody else was wearing their mask because I've like, when in doubt, leave it out. So best practices would be to wear a mask. Now, minimum this type. This is a surgical mask. A surgical mask still has a good amount of filter on it, and I would show you how mine look, but it's very dirty from lipstick and makeup. But you want to make sure you have the bendy part, and you can tell it's bendy because it stays bent. That part goes on your nose, and you want to make sure it's flush with your face. And this is a surgical, what they would say is a surgical mask. And at the end of the day, thing about surgical masks that I do like, they do, I don't know why this looks a little off, but anyway, they come across here, so that's protected. It should have no gaps here, and it should come down here. So grocery store shopping, this is pretty good because especially if you're still doing social distancing. Social distancing plus a surgical mask should be great. Now, if you are a healthcare worker, this may not be your best option unless this is all you have. You know, a lot of times in long-term care, this is the minimum because N95 masks are a little higher. Now, when I'm putting myself more in a direct care environment, when I am doing things that could put me at a higher risk of contracting COVID-19, I would wear a N95 mask. And I have one in my car. I don't have one here, but it's more of the dome shape, and they have to be properly fitted for you to wear a N95 mask. So then that's the next best practice. And also, I'm going to say I put a post about cloth cloth masks not being very effective. But at the end of the day, something is better than nothing, especially if you have to go to the grocery store, your mom, your sister, your grandmother. Don't send them out without something. So with that case, do wear something. Another thing I saw people were recommending if you do wear a cloth mask, put a filter in it. They said a vacuum cleaner filter or a car filter, or I think a furnace filter, or I guess some excellent types of filters that could make it work. So they have, if you're doing that new cloth mask type, make sure you put a filter on the other side. Okay. This is going back to best practices, okay? So hand washing, keep sanitizer, keep them, okay? It's the best practice. So keep one in your car, keep one in your person, which means on your body. Keep them. You never know. Now, one thing people are doing right now is gloving, right? They're wearing gloves everywhere they go. I thought I had some. Anyway, well, they wear gloves everywhere. If you touch in the doorknob in Walmart and then you come back and touch your phone, take them gloves off. You're not doing no good because this is gonna go home with you. That you touched with those gloves that you was touching everything at Walmart with. The doorknob, the buggy, the handle. Now you wanna go touch your phone. Think, ladies and gentlemen. Disinfect daily with that Clorox wipes, if you have cavi wipes, if you have bleach and water. I want to say that there are some Lysols that are disinfectants. The thing with disinfectants, know that until that surface is dry, it's a minimum 1 minute to some. I saw something, I don't know what it was. I want to say it was up to 10. But the longer you can let that surface dry and let those disinfectants do their job, the better. Bleach is still one of the most effective um, antiviral, antibiotic, antibacterials. It's still effective. So you can always use good old school bleach. And a lot of you are like me, we grew up using bleach. So if you've already been doing a pretty good clean lifestyle, you're lucky because you already have probably had a lot of these practices in place. If you're not the type of person that went to the bathroom in the restaurant and didn't wash your hands, you probably are putting yourself in a pretty good place to not contract these. The bad thing is that people, I think, that got it out of control so fast. We were dealing with something we didn't even know was out there, and people were probably clearly spreading it without any knowledge. And here we are. And so we are supposed to be about to hit the peak. And usually what they mean by the peak is that after you hit the peak of something, it should be going down. We're not shopping. We're not at the malls. We're not placing ourselves in a greater risk of continuing to spread it. We're placing ourselves at a greater risk to stop the spread. Okay. So that's what the whole thing with this. So disinfect daily, minimize socializing. When I try to not go out as much as possible. If I'm going to the grocery store, I really am trying to think to go to the grocery store to get enough for 2 weeks minimum. I don't want to be going to Walmart more than once a week. I don't even want to go to Walmart more than every 2 weeks because I'm minimizing my social interactions. Certain things we have to do, just be cautious. I see people sometimes wanting to gather with their family. You don't know who that person's been exposed to and that person's been exposed to. So again, if it's not necessary, try your best to minimize it. Okay. Last but not least, keep a positive outlook. This is a lot of things are going on. My life has been affected by this personally with loss, and it's disheartening. Hence why I wanted to come on here and encourage everybody and just give some real life tips on how to be safe day to day in your day to day practices, because we cannot live in fear. We are not to live in fear, but be full of positivity. There's this saying, what you think about, you bring about. So think on good things, think on lovely things, think on positive things. No matter what things will look like, try to find instead of looking at the glass half empty, try to find out how it's half full. I have a roof over my head. I had activity in my limbs. I'm breathing. I can see. My children are okay. My family are okay. Even with the bad, what can we take away from it? Because there's always some glimmer of positivity we could take out of a situation, depending on how we change our perspective, how we want to look at that thing. So even in the midst of chaos, we can have calm in the middle of this storm. So ladies and gentlemen, I hope this helped you. I'm going to wrap this video up. And again, stay safe, take care of yourself, get these supplements to boost your immune system. Anything, look up immune system boosting things, because that's your fighter. Your fighters have to be there to help you fight. Best practices: hand washing, hand sanitizer, making sure we're drinking alkaline water and spring waters, and less Coke and less pop and all that good stuff. Get your rest. Take care of your loved ones. Love on each other. Be here for one another. And until next time, this is RNRickesha. Please like and subscribe. Tell people about me, nursing education, nursing expert. If anything I can do to help, or you want me to do some new posts, give me a shout down below. New content coming soon. Check out my Instagram page. I am Nursing Success, one word. And until next time, love you all. Be safe. Stay well.